let's just hit it, man.
Yeah.
Let's just start. We're just gonna get right into the Ring of Honor stuff. Go for it. What's going on? I didn't catch the latest.
Well, you heard
I saw you post something about it.
well, you heard about Ring of Honor. I guess they're having issues with the management. Joey Mercury, who was the former producer of WWE Entertainment. You may know Joey Mercury as member of Eminem with John Morrison
yeah, I know who he is.
and manager Melina. Well, anyway, I guess from what I've heard, it's going down. It seems like Ring of Honor is going down in flames. A lot of mismanagement. It just seems weird. As soon as, you have all these shows coming up, NWA Power, AEW, WWE. Now it seems like Ring of Honor kind of seems like it's going down in flames. There's been a lot of mismanagement. Supposedly there's a lot of mismanagement. They don't have supposedly issues with, I guess one of their talents complained about about not having a medical team in the back for their performers, just in case they get hurt. I don't know I don't have too much detail into it, but I know that one of the talents, she's actually the women's champion. I keep forgetting her name. I want to say it's Maria. Kelly Klein. There you go. Thank you. I guess she's the women's champion, and she's been hurt since September. And they let her contract. They didn't renew her contract, and she's still the Ring of Honor women's champion. And I guess Joey Mercury just quit, but he saved all these messages from the producer, the manager of Ring of Honor, and it's a lot of, it's a lot of shit, man. A lot of crap. Talent not getting paid. I'm like, I know me and Dan, we have dealt with, we've heard stories of promoters not paying their talent, leaving early. It's almost the same thing with this situation, You would think that a company like Ring of Honor, who is owned by Sinclair Cable Company, who's worth around, I want to say, an estimated $360 million, do you think they will actually be able to pay their talent? I guess Kelly Klein's annual salary is around $20,000. But I think that's a lot. I think that's the most for a woman. I don't know about anyone else's pay structure there. I really don't know. I don't have any more detail about the situation, other than Ring of Honor looks like it looks like they might be closing shop down the road unless somebody picks it up.
See, I wonder if it's anything like WCW, because WCW was, of course, earned by Turner, but it's run separate. Like, they're kept within their own budget to do things. So if it didn't fall within budget, they couldn't do it. So I wonder if it's some case like that.
Well, it could possibly be that way. I'm like, with the Kelly Klein's complaint about about her getting fired, but also the fact that there's no medical staff. I posted a post earlier on the Punks of Wrestling, that a lot of these small promotions, some promotions in the regional area, they still go through the state athletic commission because they still consider pro wrestling a sport. And some promotions, they don't consider it a sport because they don't, they call it entertainment because they don't want to have to pay the state athletic commission, a permit just to, have the wrestlers, have the performers treated, test for blood samples, physicals and all that. That's what they used to do back in the 80s and the 70s. Mm-hmm. They will have to split the costs between the state athletics commission. A lot of the wrestlers have to have licenses, and I guess in Ring of Honor's case, they don't have a fully medical staff for somebody somebody that gets hurt. I feel bad for Kelly Klein, but then again, you know what? I'm like, right now it's good to be an independent wrestler right now, an independent contractor. There's plenty of work anywhere right now in this business. So, wish Kelly Klein the best, and hopefully Joey Mercury will find a job down the road. Hopefully, we'll see him down the road in another promotion, if anything. You know what? I also forgot to mention one thing. I got to see all 7 episodes of NWA Power. All right. Well, anyway, NWA Power, the resurrection, Billy Corgan's baby they just resurrected the old NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance. You heard the controversy with Jim Cornette. Cornette said something racist. Wants to talk about. Jim Cornette said something racist. Yeah, I'm like, but it's funny because in the 80s, when he was managing the Midnight Express, he actually said that exact same line. In the 80s, it was supposed to be a joke.
In the 80s, it was okay.
And then plus that, it was in Georgia.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't okay. It was accepted.
Yeah.
In those days.
Let's be clear.
Yeah. So anyway, I think this episode 6, I got to see Cowboy James Storm, the Tennessee Cowboy James Storm, defend his NWA National Heavyweight title against Colt Boom Boom Cabana. It was such an exciting match. The match was pretty good, actually, and Cabana ended up regaining the NWA National Championship. My opinions on this show? You know what? I'm very old school. There's no pyro, no music. It's in a live studio. It's in a live studio audience. It's real wrestling, dude. Real, like, hands-on wrestling. You know,
wrestling.
None of these.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Trevor Murdoch, Captain Redneck. Trevor Murdoch wrestled against the owner, the owner of the 10 pounds of gold, Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis. Yeah, if you know Nick Aldis, he's married to Mickie James.
Yep.
So he defended the title, which was a pretty good matchup. Overall, pretty good matchup. You know what? It's a good wrestling, dude. Very good wrestling. No gimmicks, no pyros, no music. And if I were you, just try to watch one of these. Try to watch it. The one thing that I love about that show is the fact that they have these commercials, like if they were like part of a cable access channel, the way how it used to be back in the day. So yeah, come to Palula, Kentucky, home of waffles and chicken. Here, so and so. It's just hilarious. It's funny to say that. But if I were you guys, I recommend you watch NWA Power. It's a pretty good show.
I tried.
Saturday, Tuesday night.
I tried. It's not my bag.
Get into it.
Nope. I could not get into it. I didn't grow up, though, on studio wrestling. I know a little bit of the background, of course, for Jim Crockett Promotions, but we didn't get that over here when I was younger. So, I grew up on the WWE product. I know a little bit of my history. Got into it when it turned into WCW after Ted Turner bought it. Brought a little bit more to it, but it's just not my bag. I gave it a shot. I admit there's talent there. With Colt and James Storm and Nick Aldis, those are household names.
Ricky Starks, Trevor Murdoch. I'm like, they're gonna have their first pay-per-view. I think December 7th, actually. So should be interesting in front of a live studio, in front of a live sellout crowd somewhere in some arena, I guess.
Yeah, good for them as long as they're bringing people to the arena, entertaining the fans, and there's someplace else for these guys to work. If it's not machine, so good for them.
Definitely. Also, Melina made her NWA debut last week, actually.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, very cool. Very interesting.
Jim Cornette, though, that guy's a piece of shit. I've said for a long time, dude, I don't like Jim Cornette.
What did he say?
I'm gonna say it, dude, but I'm probably gonna cut it out. He said something like Trevor Murdoch is a guy who could strap a bucket of chicken and ride across Ethiopia.
Bucket of fried chicken, yeah.
Yeah. It was like, dude, it's 2019. You can't say that. And so here's the thing. What happened there was he said it. The show is obviously taped. It didn't get cut out. Who is it? Dave Lagana took the heat for it and said, "That's me. I'm the one that edits it. I missed it. I've been exhausted. I missed it." Apparently, that is not the first time he said they've had to cut stuff out that he said.
Yeah, this is his second. This was the second warning. He said something about people who are suicidal.
Yeah,
I guess, and offended people who had mental breakdowns. And I guess Billy Corgan ended up sending an email, an open letter through the website saying that NWA Jim Cornette. Those are Jim Cornette's opinions.
Oh, I forgot about that. No, I'm not talking about that though. I'm talking about that he's had stuff edited out of episodes before, that you've actually never heard.
So it's a recurring thing.
It's a recurring thing with him. Yeah. He's known to shoot his mouth off, and part of it is done on purpose. It's like the shock jock type thing. But they asked him to apologize for this one, and he didn't want to. And then another reason I heard was that on his own podcast, he keeps shooting down AEW, and no one's looking for the bad press to shoot down anybody. So
not only that, it's a bit of a recurring thing of like when he was running Ohio Valley Wrestling over in the Midwest, back in probably I want to say early 2000s. He had guys like CM Punk. He had guys like Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton, John Cena. They all went through that. Promotion, that developmental, which was at the time the WWE developmental system. He had a guy, of course, Santino Marella. He went through it. And I guess the Boogeyman also went through it. So when they developed the Boogeyman character, Cornette told everybody to make sure you sell it. Make sure, to say that, hey, you'll act scared. Marella, instead, he laughed his ass off during the whole time. And I guess Cornette didn't took too likely in the backstage area. He didn't like the way how he didn't sell it. He didn't sell that he was scared. And freaking Cornette ended up slapping him on the side of the face. He ended up getting fired for it from WWE because of that. So, and he did not press charges for assault. He did not press charges. Marella did not press charges. But he was he's on his way to WWE anyway. So.
Marella actually met up with Cornette at a wrestling convention. He tried to bury the hatchet, and Cornette was having none of it.
Yeah, there's a YouTube video of that shit.
Yeah,
it's pretty funny.
It is. Old man takes some heat. So that's with him, man. Let's get into better stuff.
Go ahead.
I guess whatever. I did say before we got started on that little thing there that to talk about anything building up to Wargames. And like I said, I know I talked to Anthony earlier. He wanted to talk about the ladder match, the women's ladder match.
Yeah, the Mia Kim and Io Shirai. I thought it was an outstanding match. It was to decide who had advantage in the War Games match.
Yeah, it was good. Man. It was like who started first. It was the determine who was going to start first, right?
So the women's match was really good, man. That shot to the face.
Yeah, that was crazy. Face. Yeah, that was a wild match. There was a lot of high spots. There was a lot of blows. When what's her name? The UK champion came out.
Walter?
No, the ladies.
The women's. Kaylee Ray came out and obviously caused Mia Kim to lose. Now I have a question. I must have missed how Mia Kim got replaced.
Yeah, it happened.
In the pre-show. She got hurt, actually. She got hurt in the pre-show. She got attacked or hurt or something.
She got attacked.
Yeah. So it was probably by Dakota Kai.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get to that earlier.
Yeah, we're not there yet. Yeah. Anyways, I just wanted to talk about how great that match was. I thought it was really good. I had seen in the description that there was going to be a ladder match. I'm always a sucker for ladder matches and high spots off of them. And yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
So that ending bump was good that she took on the ladder. I mean, she proved she was tough. For number one,
definitely.
For taking that shot to the nose and still getting up. So I found this kind of weird. I don't know if you paid attention to this or not, but she took that shot to the nose, which was accidental. You could just see where she had the ladder. It was up higher than it probably should have been. And so she took that shot to the nose and, broke her nose, and she started bleeding all over the place. But interestingly, in the match before that, it was Xia Li, the Chinese wrestler, and Aaliyah. And Aaliyah took a shot to the nose and broke her nose in the match. It was blood all over the place. That one was a work.
That's weird.
She didn't actually break her nose. She's taken some time off, and that was meant to happen. So whatever she did, she popped a capsule or something and started bleeding all over the place. That's a work. That's kayfabe. And then all of a sudden, the next match, it happens for real. So you had two broken noses with quotation marks on that show. I thought that was kind of interesting. I was like, dang, both these girls.
That's crazy.
Show. And then I read it later, like, no, that one was a work because she's gonna have some kind of something done to her nose fixed or something. I just thought that was kind of interesting that would happen. The men's ladder match I thought was pretty good too. Adam Cole and Dijakovic. Is that his name? Yeah. That was a good match too. I like the ending. No one's ever thought about that before. That was brand new. To see Adam Cole take the briefcase as they're both kind of fighting over it and hit him in the head with it. Just kind of swung it his way, and he took a pretty stiff shot, just fell off the ladder, and Adam Cole's got the briefcase. I thought that was kind of cool.
Okay, Dad, you forgot to say baby at the end of Adam Cole.
Baby.
That's the way. There you go. That's the only way it's gonna work.
I just like that spot. I thought it was good. Dijakovic continues to impress me. And I just thought it was neat to be like, I've never seen two guys fight over the briefcase at the top, and all of a sudden he's like, I'm gonna take this briefcase and hit him in the head with it. He swung it his way, hit him in the head.
Wow.
Yeah, he went down. We're like, that's how you take out a guy that's like twice your size.
Yeah, that's smart. Never thought about that. We haven't never seen anything like that before.
It surprises me how much stuff they can come up with that's new, because there's been so many ladder matches and steel cage matches, and he's always got to come up with something new. So I just thought that was interesting, and something that sounds like Adam Cole baby would be do. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was kind of
definitely.
Cool. So Wargames itself. So pre-match, I did actually watch the pre-match. I watched it was Angel Garza and Isaiah Swerve Scott, Shane Strickland.
Well, 7 minutes.
Yeah,
it was a very short match actually.
It was good. It was good though. Angel Garza is one to watch, and if you know anything about Shane Strickland. What's his name? Kill Shot from Lucha Underground. He's really good. He's really good. So I just thought I watched that because I happened to actually just come across it, but I thought it was really good. So two guys to definitely watch. Stars in the making for sure. But the actual card started with the women's match. Now, as soon as the women's match was over, I think I watched it. I actually watched it on a Saturday. Actually, I talked to Anthony. I was like, "Hey, did you watch the women's match?" And he said, "No, he hadn't at the time." I thought it was very unique in the way that they did stuff, and I thought it was actually a good piece of storytelling. But I'll let you guys give me your thoughts first before I explain myself.
Overall, I'll be honest with you. I think that was probably one of the best matches done tonight, and even I'm like, and I'm not taking a shot at the men. The men did the way the men.
And in
did
fairness to that
okay.
statement, there was only 4 matches.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. Actually, there's only 4 matches, so yeah, 25% chance to be the best match of the night.
Yeah, so pretty much, this pretty much is a testament that I think the NXT women's division is pretty much carrying the company right now as we speak. They went all out yesterday. Yeah, they went all out, and the biggest thing, I was so surprised with Leo Shirai, that high spot, that moonsault,
off the top of the cage. Yeah.
Oh my God, I wasn't expecting that, man.
And then when she just kind of tumbled over on her head into the far rope, it was just it kind of just added a topper to that whole spot. It was it was great.
Big time. And the fact that it went 4-on-2, and then the betrayal by Dakota Kai on Tegan Knox, the attack.
Okay, let's talk about that right there. Let's talk about that for just a second. Hold on. Okay, so Dakota Kai has been there for a while. She's been there for a while. Both she and Tegan Knox have been there for a while. They both got hurt. Took some time off because they both got hurt. When you think about it, neither one of them has actually contributed much. Not really. They have just haven't been there. They haven't been placed in a good storyline. Both of them got hurt, so they were taken out of storylines. They both did the Mae Young Classic. That's all good. They come back. I found it very odd that they would get the nod to be in Wargames over somebody like Toni Storm, who showed up for Survivor Series. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But I didn't see it. However, I think that heel turn was one of the best heel turns that we've seen in a long time. And all of a sudden, she matters. She matters all of a sudden.
It wasn't, you know what? And I was very surprised. And that's one thing about as wrestling fans, we miss the element of surprise. And I was shocked. I was like, what the hell? What's going on? And all of a sudden, you see Dakota Kai taking that knee brace out of Tegan Knox, just, hurting you more than it already is, or something like that.
She pulled that kind of it's been compared to Bayley's heel turn, because this is a girl you wouldn't expect it from, but all of a sudden she mattered. She's screaming at Rhea Ripley, in the face. I wanted to know what she said. Like, Mauro was talking over it, so I couldn't hear what she was actually saying, but I wanted to actually hear that. And I think the person that I saw, it was Samoa Joe, that actually retweeted something that somebody else had said about her. Somebody said something like, "Oh, Dakota Kai, how could you, blah, 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 blah. What are you doing? What are you thinking?" Or no, what did it say? It's like, "What are you doing by doing this?" And Samoa Joe retweeted it, and he said, "Emerging," is what he said.
Yeah, and the funny thing about it though is that leading up to to the Wargames, Dakota Kai, even in the interviews, she wanted to be part of the team, and Ripley said, "My team's filled up. I don't need you. I'm not interested," or something like that. And I guess she felt bad. I remember in one of the, I think it was at the NXT show last week, she was feeling kind of down about it. I guess of course it was a work. So, so eventually here comes Dakota Kai. Well, why is Mia Yim injured? Attack, it was an attack. So, for me, it was a classic. It was like one of those classic heel turns. You really didn't expect it. I really didn't expect it at all, to be honest.
I didn't either, and it's from a girl you didn't care about. And I think that's the thing, is all of a sudden, like, oh man, that was so brutal. She matters now.
Yeah.
So with that attitude.
Her stock is her stock is gonna go up, man. She's pretty much gonna be the new villain, which should be interesting. See what develop new storylines.
There might have been some foreshadowing of this, if now that I think about it, because if you think back to the Kabuki Warriors match for the women's tag team championships against Tegan Nox and Dakota Kai, at the end of that match, there was some animosity from Dakota Kai about having lost.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Does anybody else remember that?
No, I do.
Yeah, I remember that.
Weren't all the females attacked from that team on that episode of NXT, and it never got explained?
Oh, right.
It was a night when everybody showed up from the two major brands too, but nothing ever got explained. So I wonder if that had anything to do with it. And then I know for a fact Mia Yim has come out on social media and said, okay, I think I know who did this. Like explaining how she got, beat down before. So like this is going to go somewhere. And that's good. Good. The more storylines you get for people to get involved in, the better. And now you got a platform and having the 2 hours to do that.
Definitely.
So good. High spots in the match, pretty hard hitting. Rhea Ripley's on fire right now. She kind of came out of nowhere. There's a picture floating around. I think she might have tweeted it out of what she looked like 2 years ago, and it really she looks like Lacey Evans 2 years ago to where she is now. All of a sudden, just huge change and just on fire. I thought it was good. I thought the ending was well, first of all, to take two competitors out, that was unique. And that forwarded the storyline of the underdog thing, and then you have Dakota Kai, who matters now. I thought that was the storytelling piece that I was telling you about, Anthony, was that.
Right.
Like, you got this girl who I could care less about her. All of a sudden, like, man, I want to see what she does now. So, and then to go in against two was unique, because you got the two who are, the underdogs and who were fighting. And then
Candice LeRae.
Yeah.
Candice LeRae.
From Riverside, California. That's right.
Wife of Johnny Gargano.
Right. Although she's always listed from Anaheim, but she's from Riverside. Anyway.
She's from Riverside,
yeah. Oh, man, I lost my train of thought, man. She's got that Rhea Ripley. Oh, the ending with the handcuffs. Beautiful.
Oh, yeah, definitely. She was, what's her name? Sonya
Baszler.
What's her name? Baszler. Shayna Baszler, she sold it, man. She wasn't expecting. You see the face?
Yeah.
She wasn't expecting that. Like, what the hell? Like, now she handcuffed, I'm handcuffed to her. All I know is that this sets up a match like one of those old school matches, the ones that they chained themselves into to their wrist. And they have to touch each ring post.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be the next matchup.
I don't know about all that, but it was a unique way to finish.
So like an old school JBL strap match.
There you go. A Texas Bull Rope match. There you go.
Yeah, that one. That's the.
There you go. Or a dog collar match.
Right.
That's inhumane though, but still, come on.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a good match. I enjoyed it. It was hard hitting.
Do you think they let Baszler break Asuka's record, or do you think that they're setting up for Rhea Ripley to take it from her long before there's a chance of that?
I think you see. Yeah, I think so. Because I think you're gonna see
WrestleMania
you're gonna see Baszler on the. I don't even know if I want to call him the main roster. Yeah, I don't think you can do that anymore.
No.
I think you're going to see her on Raw or SmackDown like pretty soon.
I don't think that. I don't know. I feel like that she's good if she would just go to one of those places and die because she's not Vince's type of.
Female. She's gonna get lost in the shuffle.
She's not Vince's. Because Vince still looks at them all as divas.
Pretty much.
And she's not a diva.
No.
So that's why I think that Triple H would be best served keeping her on NXT along with her horsewomen as long as possible, just because if he really wants her to succeed, he has to keep her there, or else she's going to go to the brand, one of the other brands, and just fade into obscurity, because she's no Ronda Rousey, so she doesn't have that name brand. So they need to keep her on NXT, but she does need to drop the belt soon, or else she's, it's just going to be like, you can't keep her there and keep the belt.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of know who that person's going to be.
Well, yeah,
that's what they're totally setting up for.
Yeah, and it's probably going to happen at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I hope that earns main event card.
Or Royal Rumble, depending on how soon they want to set up that match.
Probably the NXT takeover at the Rumble, before the Rumble.
Right.
Well, I don't know anymore, man, because yesterday we got an NXT title match on one of the big four.
Right.
Which that wouldn't have been a thing before. I was very intrigued by this SummerSlam, and we'll get to this here in a couple minutes because there's only 3 more matches to talk about for Wargames. But yeah, things have changed since that plane thing. Things have totally changed. I don't know what they're gonna do, but I'm kind of enjoying it. So we'll see what we got going on. Anything else about the women before we move on to the 3-way?
It was great.
I thought it was fantastic.
Loved it.
Probably could have been better than the men's, but
it's just if it wasn't for that final spot in the men's, it probably would have been.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a testament right now. Like, who has the better women's divisions, Raw, SmackDown, or NXT? I think NXT went all out. I think NXT has the better women's division. In all of WWE. That's just my opinion.
You know what else? Go ahead.
They proved it last night. I'm like, no offense to Charlotte and Becky and Sasha, but they took that women's division NXT by the balls. Seriously,
was the match with Rhea and Sasha and Charlotte, was that on SmackDown or was that Raw?
That was SmackDown.
That was SmackDown. What a unique way to pin Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
That was unique when she had Sasha in the figure 8 and they just kind of snuck in underneath her bridge to put her shoulders down. I was like, oh my God, like, who's writing this stuff? Like, you're finally coming along for some innovative stuff. Like, that was fantastic. I was like, that came out of nowhere. That was good.
Definitely.
I liked it. Anyway, Pete Dunne, Damian Priest, Killian Dane. Can I just tell you, I like this version of Killian Dane. I like this one better than I liked him with Sanity.
I actually liked the match, actually. It was pretty good.
His wife would probably agree with you.
Right. He just needed to shave off all that sweater he had on, man. Although he always goes, no! He always yells something when he does some big move. Have you caught that?
Yeah.
He always makes some guttural, not really guttural, but he yells out this weird sound. I don't know. A hard-hitting match. I had nothing but good things to say about Pete Dunne. Damian Priest, I think, brought it. He looked pretty good in the match. I don't know that I have a lot to say. It was just a good match. They beat the hell out of each other, but it was a good match.
Pete Dunne does what he does best, man. He's a scientific wrestler, all those mat skills, and the fact that he uses I want to say gimmick, but he focuses on breaking your fingers. That would scare the shit out of me, big time. Seriously, I'm like, come on, like, he does it experimenting by breaking fingers. That's intimidating right there, man. Seriously,
Have you seen?
was a pretty good matchup.
You've seen Marty Scurll do that, right?
Yeah, you know what? I have actually. Yeah.
So when he does it, he does this thing where like he pulls it, but he pops himself, and the noise comes from him smacking his elbows against his body.
Wow.
It's really cool the way he freaking does it. Like I've seen it live because I've gone to see New Japan. But
Okay.
yeah, I always pop for those kind of things where it looks like you get the right guy to sell it, and it's pretty cool.
I never noticed that. I gotta check it out, dude. Seriously. Now I have to check it out. You know.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, well,
Definitely.
you just might hear in a couple of weeks because his contract runs out. We talked about that before.
Was it AEW bound? You know what? And speaking about Marty Scurll, not to get off topic, that show at Ring of Honor at the Garden, they were supposed to give the world title to Marty Scurll, but they decided not to give it to him because he was afraid that he was gonna leave.
Yep.
That's another drama right there. But anyway, just continue on with this NXT Wargames.
Finn Balor and Matt Riddle. Nothing? No one? Finn Balor and Matt Riddle?
You know what?
It was a match.
Yeah. It was good. It wasn't anything crazy. They both had some good spots. Was there any way you were going to see Finn Balor lose his comeback match to NXT? No? Okay. I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, I'd just be more curious where they're going with Balor.
Yeah.
I mean, are they setting up for him to fight Bebe at some point?
Yep, I think so.
Or I mean, but in a roundabout way, but
I think that's going to take some build up because there's some heat there, but they're both technically heels.
Yeah, or is Gargano going to come back and he's going to fight him first, and then later down the road?
Well, they're going to set him up for Gargano. I think it's either going to be Royal Rumble or WrestleMania. They're going to set up Balor and Gargano. So it's going to, it could be sooner or later. I didn't get to see the match, actually. That was one of the matches I totally forgot to see, actually.
Like you said, it was okay. It wasn't anything crazy. It's a 14-minute match. What you expect out of the guys. When you think about it, I mean, Finn Balor is good. His ending, his finish, is just like, okay. Stomps the guy in the chest. Okay. Is anything crazy, nothing fancy about it. Like, that knocked the wind out of anybody for a 3. So, I don't even remember if that's the way he won.
You know what? It's just crazy that, he's in NXT. I would have thought he would have taken some, serious time off and then come back and face The Fiend as the Demon.
Okay, we'll get that later.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
We'll get to that part later, because I actually thought about that today. I heard an interview with Finn Balor today, actually. If you haven't listened to Corey Graves' podcast, it's actually pretty good.
Okay, well, I'll do respect. Fuck Corey Graves. There.
Thank you.
Walmart punk rock poser.
I agree. I don't like him.
Fuck that guy.
I know why, but let's just move on.
Okay.
The men's war game match.
Hey, can I just say that 5 minutes before he came out, I called, randomly, just jokingly. I said, "Hey, I bet the 4th member is going to be, KO."
Why?
So
and it came out.
I don't know, just because of Triple H, and you had to know it was going to be somebody big, and that it wasn't going to be a mirror of the women's match where nobody comes out, or where it ends up being the handicap match. You knew somebody was going to come out, so you had to figure it was going to be somebody big. And I said, well, it's either going to be I don't remember who the other person I said was, but I said KO, and I'm like, okay. So, I don't know. I just had a feeling.
No Seth.
I mean, maybe.
First
maybe.
NXT champion?
Mean, yeah. I don't know. I don't really feel Seth.
No.
Doing that. It seems more.
Boy.
Yeah, it's more KO's type of thing.
Yeah. They pop for him. He got a big pop.
Oh, hell yeah.
That was just the shock on Adam Cole Baby's face. Pretty much says a million words, says 1,000 words. Pretty much all of Undisputed Era once KO came out. It's like business is about to pick up here.
Yeah.
Definitely. The frog splash to the table, loved it. A lot of high spots. Of course, Gargano's Adam Cole. I don't know if you notice, but Adam Cole, okay, baby, Adam Cole's girlfriend, Britt Baker,
yes,
was in the audience, and I guess the director was following orders of trying to get the women, the one girl that was the most worried during the match, and Britt Baker came out.
So
yeah,
wasn't that her?
She was I think she was sitting next to Stephanie, was she?
No, that's a different time. I know you talked about that. No, she was sitting there in the audience, like you said. The directions were get the person with the most concerned look on their face. So it just happened to be Britt Baker's girlfriend. Morrow made reference of it. He's like, Adam Cole's girlfriend, Britt Baker, showing a look of concern, and then they cut away from her. No, a takeover before, they were showing Stephanie in the crowd, and Britt Baker happened to be sitting next to her. So Triple H addressed both of those things in the media scrum or the conference call or whatever, asking, do you think was that bad? And he's like, we didn't mean to do it. I hope it doesn't get her in any trouble because it was unintentional.
But you know what? It's in the past. We've had a WWE superstar seen during a TNA Impact show, and during the show, some members from management from WWE call them, hey, get the hell out of the studio, get the hell out of the. I'm like, WWE is very picky about that. They would not allow a WWE guy being filmed on another promotions TV show.
Well, no.
Are you talking about Paige or?
I'm not. I'm talking about. I don't know if you remember the old tag team called the Highlanders back in like the mid 2000s. One of the guys was actually seen on a TNA Impact taping, and a couple weeks later they both got released.
Yeah, but it's not the same thing. Those guys. TNA pointed the camera at them, and those guys waved at the camera. It's not the same thing. Britt Baker was there watching the show because that's her boyfriend. Didn't try to do anything. These guys, I remember that, Vic. It was blatant. They looking at the camera like, "Hi, how?" And I think they even put the little name thing underneath it, like who this guy is.
Yeah, WWE superstar, so and so from the Highlanders, some bullshit like that. I remember.
I think it was his real name, but it was like that's dude. You should don't put me on. You know what I mean? Don't put me on camera if you're going to be there because he was just enjoying whatever. So there's a difference. That I blame that one on TNA. But no, Triple H was. Just,
the point is they're both seen on camera. Like, I think AEW is a little bit more freelance. I'm sure Cody will understand. She was there to support her man.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, definitely. Doesn't matter what fucking promotion they're from, whatever. Hey, we're all in this together,
So
little freelance.
I noticed a couple of things in this match. At one point, the line I sent to Dan and Vic, where after Keith Lee got kicked, he took a low blow, and Mauro Ranallo says something like, "Right in the peninsula below the equator." I freaking died.
Mamma mia.
Yeah, I died when he said that. I was like, wait, did I just hear that? I heard that. And at one point, somebody did a move. I think it might have been Matt Riddle who hit. He called it a V trigger. He called that knee when somebody else is against the ropes. He called it a V trigger, which is Kenny Omega's move. And Kenny Omega's the only one who calls that move the V trigger. Because a V trigger. Anthony, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't a V trigger move like in Street Fighter or something? Like is it some kind of special move or something? That's actually what a V trigger is. And Kenny Omega's a big gamer, so that makes sense that he would call move after something like that. But no, it was clearly called the V trigger. And I was like, you just made two references to AEW within your stuff between Britt Baker and calling that a V trigger. Like, okay, but we're not at war, guys. We're not at war. So I thought that was thing. It was a hard hitting match, all kinds of spots that were really good. Everybody put on a show. It's always nice to see that. The ending is what got everybody talking.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick. Yeah, V Trigger is from Street Fighter.
Okay. Tommaso, Adam Cole, top of the cage, 2 tables set down there. How did he grab him? He grabbed him like behind his back, yeah?
Yeah.
It was kind of like a little bit of a pump handle slam, I want to say.
Something like that. But,
something like that.
As weird as it was and as high as it was when you look at it, it was as protected and as safe as it was going to be.
Yeah. Well, especially when you're flying going down 20 feet in the air.
Yeah. Well, he looked at it because he's seen it plenty of times. And I'll talk about this in this. Well, no, I'll talk about it in just a second here. Had his head cradled. His neck was totally cradled, in his arm. The bump was as flat as it could be through the 2 tables, which is how you're supposed to take it. That flat back bump, you take it, and the tables broke, so it really did look as safe as it could be for as crazy a stunt as it was.
Yeah.
See, Tommaso looking back to make sure that he got enough room off the top to go through the tables. Go ahead.
If there would have been any doubts, Bebe would not have been there the following night.
Correct.
Yeah, that's true.
Although the following night, I don't know if you caught this because they were talking about that match, and they had showed it. We got to see it on the full screen, but you can tell that's something they showed on the monitors live in theater. And he was up, like they caught Adam Cole looking at it, like up at what had transpired last night. It was just this look on his face, like, damn, I can't even believe I did that. I did notice that.
Next night. You know what? I just find it funny that with social media, they're like, he's gonna wrestle after freaking 24 hours after doing that spot?
I said something about that too. All those guys were in major spots on Survivor Series after they had the hell beat out of them the night before.
Yeah,
I mean, all of them.
But like I said before, man, they knew what they signed up for, man. They're on the road 300 days a year. If you're gonna take high spots twice, 3 times a day, take it.
I understand that, but you're talking about some major spots because of Wargames, and then to guys who had that day off.
Yeah, and if you're gonna give credit to anybody, I don't particularly like him, but if you're gonna give credit to anybody, give credit to Roderick Strong. He started out Wargames and lasted through that whole match, and then had to fight in that triple threat match, and then win.
Yeah. No, you don't like Roderick Strong, really? I think he's interesting.
I don't like any of Undisputed Era.
Oh, I see him right there. Wow.
Okay. Yeah, I hate to. My bad. You know what? I'm going to agree with Anthony here because without Adam Cole, those other 3 guys are nothing. I'm like, I hate to say they're going to be. If Undisputed Era disintegrates in the near future, which is going to happen, Adam Cole will be the star, and those other 3 guys, they'll probably either be going in the opening card or mid card level. The most.
They're not going to be main eventing, but I think they'll hold their own.
Yeah.
They're not going to be main eventers, but
Roderick Strong probably has a good possibility, better than the tag team.
Well, those guys are a tag team and have been a tag team for a long time.
Yeah, but I think Roderick Strong, he's a North American champion, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he has a better shot at a singles career down the road.
Which he has done before. He's been in the business for 15 years. Before I forget, I'm gonna mention this because I noticed this too when I was watching Survivor Series today. That Roderick Strong, when he came out at Survivor Series, he gets into his match, and all 4 guys from Undisputed Era, they hit the boom in a different way, right? Adam Cole does the little thumb thing, like half the RVD thing, boom.
Yeah.
Bobby Fish and Collar Riley turn to each other and say boom. Roddy gets on the ground, slaps the mat, and says boom. When he got in his match at Survivor Series, he got down like he was going to do his boom, and that's where an AJ Styles music hit. He didn't get to do it. It was funny. He got down on his knees like he does. He stops the mat like 3 times and then goes boom and puts his arms out. Like does that. Like he was ready to slap the mat, and all of a sudden the music changed to AJ Styles. And his look on his face was like, oh, what? Okay. Like, it's funny. So if you get a chance,
yeah, I've seen that. That's pretty funny.
I was like, oh man, he got screwed out of his boom. I wondered because I watched it because I wondered if they were going to show. After I noticed that, I wondered if they were going to show Adam Cole do his boom, or if he was going to get skipped over too. And he got his boom, but he is the champ. So
Yeah.
Hell of a match though. I thought it was really good. Those Wargames matches are pretty intense. Out of the three of them, maybe the best one. This might have been the best one.
That's just because of that spot with Adam Cole and Ciampa, huh?
Well, yeah, that. But then the whole Kevin Owens thing. The fourth member was going to be. That was some storytelling.
That was.
Really, and I give it up for not only giving us a good match, but also some story behind it, and you kind of want to see what's going to happen now. Okay. On to Survivor Series, unless anybody has anything else to say about Wargames.
No, not really.
All right. I did watch the pre-show for SummerSlam. Only because I got interested in the matches. Well, I should say I watched one of them, and I was kind of just paying attention to what was happening in the other two. So there was the Tag Team Battle Royal, won by Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode.
Of course.
Are going to be a team for a while, it looks like.
Why?
Because they don't want to push either one as a single star that they are.
They got so much potential being a singles guys.
Well, yeah, but they're not giving them that shot. So.
Oh God.
Yeah, I don't want to beat a dead horse about the whole. There's already literal tag teams that are having their chances taken away by these pseudo tag teams. I get tired of it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Like I will never forgive the jobbing of Ascension.
Who weren't even in that tag team though. Do those guys even work there anymore?
They're still under contract, but they have not been there in a while. They have not done anything in a while with them.
Yeah. It's bad
from what I heard, they've been doing live events, but they haven't been doing any TV tapings.
Well,
from what I heard,
it's a bummer. Those guys were like hard workers in NXT, and then the best storyline that they've ever had in WWE was with Breezango with the whole when they were Miami Vice thing, which is sad because it didn't even involve wrestling.
Oh God.
So there was that, which was okay. That was only 8 minutes long.
So what is that? Like number one contenders for something, or was there no point to it?
Yeah, no, I think they are now contenders for the SmackDown titles. I think it's what that was. And they won a cup.
Good for them.
Yeah. The next match I didn't really watch. It was Lio Rush, Akira Tozawa, and Kalisto. Kalisto is the worst promo you've ever seen. He's horrible. He cannot talk.
Well,
he didn't talk here. I don't get because he can't talk. It's so bad. I don't care about his character.
Well, the thing about with Kalisto right now, I don't know. A couple weeks ago, he requested his release from WWE. He's not happy.
Was that him or Sin
denied
Cara?
No, it was it Sin Cara?
Sin Cara did.
Probably. My bad. It was Sin Cara.
That was Sin Cara.
Yeah.
I don't think Kalisto is going to end up resigning. I think I read that he's not going to end up resigning when his contract's up, but he's not really doing anything anyway, so there's really no loss.
Well, this whole Lucha House Party thing, it's like it's just a comedy gag, man. I'm tired of that crap.
Although I did hear they're training Kane. Kane Velasquez is one of those guys. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So not that maybe they see that, because when Rock was making his comeback, he was working with what's Zack Ryder's tag team partner name?
What's it? Kurt Hawkins?
Kurt Hawkins, yeah, who's supposed to be one of the best in the business. You wouldn't know it. Wouldn't know it. So yeah, that throwaway match, you didn't care. Lio Rush won. Next, the Viking Raiders, the New Day, and Undisputed Era, the three-way tag team match, won by the Viking Raiders, whatever their name is this week. Good Lord.
Was it the Viking Raiders that won?
Yeah, the Viking Raiders.
It was,
won, yeah.
Okay, I thought it was the Undisputed Era that won.
No, you thought they were gonna be. Like, I totally thought they were going to be, but
yeah.
No, they were the last ones actually in the match against the Viking Raiders, and they actually beat them for it. So that was a good match. You know, I like the Undisputed Era. Those two guys can work. Kofi and Big E can work. Actually, the Viking Raiders can work too. So pretty hard hitting match. I thought the Viking Raiders were going to lose that actually.
There was this one spot in the match when they were about to do the high-low, which they totally ripped that off from the Eliminators tag team at ECW, Perry Saturn and Kronos.
Oh yeah, I've known that when they first started doing it. I was like, oh, that's
total elimination. That's the name of the move.
Yeah,
I like the way how the big guy countered. He did like a flip and he able to maneuver. You know, the guy has some agility, man. I was like, whoa, I'm kind of shocked. He was able to get away from, you know, because they were about to do that move, and then this dude does a cartwheel, and just, you know, avoided getting put in that position. Overall, it was a pretty good match, actually.
Yeah, I thought that one was. If there's anyone to watch from the pre-show, it was definitely that one.
Definitely.
When the main card started, we got the women's match, the elimination match. I thought it was pretty good, actually.
The traditional Survivor Series match, right?
Yeah. I thought the women's match was good.
It was pretty good, actually. One of the highlights of the match that I kind of enjoyed was Leo Shirai with the Pirate Princess. What's her? Anthony, help me out here, man.
Kairi Sane,
excuse me. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Kairi Sane. And I guess they've had some, they were just going at it, and I guess Carmella's like in the middle of it. Carmella's like, hey, yo, bitch, right here, you could. And they weren't even paying attention to her. They just went at it. Those two have had history in the past in Japan. I think wrestling for the Stardom promotion.
Yeah.
So it was pretty interesting. I kind of liked it, but at the same time, during the follow up to the Survivor Series on SmackDown on Friday, both of them got involved like right then and there in the middle of the ring, but they didn't do anything about it. I see that being probably a future match down the road between Io Shirai and Kairi Sane. Yeah.
Yep. Interested to hear actually Anthony's thoughts about Asuka and Charlotte.
Asuka finally getting her revenge on Charlotte. I mean, I don't know if it's like total revenge for everything that Asuka had to wait so long to become champion, and the whole jobbing at the expense of for Charlotte. But it was great. It was I feel like it might have been a little bit of closure for part of the Asuka Charlotte storyline.
No, not even, because they were supposed to wrestle on Raw tonight.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, then maybe just renewing that then. I mean, I don't know if these little individual things are setting up for them to drop the tag team belts so that they could separate again and go for do some actual storylines. I hope so. I just want to see them all. I just want to see them on TV. That's all I care about. Asuka and Kairi Sane, because they both deserve to be on TV. If not, then send them back to NXT and let them be on TV and actually fight some matches that matter.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So that's great. I like to see Asuka and Charlotte as long as Asuka can get the upper hand for once.
Mm-hmm.
What I like. Go ahead.
Quick question: do you get? I don't know why, but Carmella seems she's improved a lot in the ring lately. I know you guys have noticed that.
Okay, I think I've said this before on this podcast.
Yeah,
I'm a fan of Carmella. I think she really.
Yeah, you have.
Carmella always finds a way, Vic, to get her shit in.
Yeah,
she always manages to find a way to get something in that's going to be like you remember that. Like she's
improved a lot, dude. And during that match, that it kind of showed something. And what I was actually very happy for Dana Brooke.
I was
she
going to
finally
say
got
that.
her 2 cents in.
Well, that's what I was actually going to say.
Yeah,
I was just
happy,
about
man.
to mention that she stuck out like a sore thumb because she didn't match anybody. She didn't have the dark blue anywhere. I kept thinking that Bliss was originally probably meant to be in this match, and that Dana Brooke was a fill-in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys feel that way, but she definitely showed her own. She doesn't get much chances to shine, and for sticking out and being obviously the odd woman out in that team, she didn't really get to do anything. Unfortunately, she kind of came in and then got eliminated.
No, she did. She did some stuff from the top rope. I was going to say the thing I like about these kind of matches. Oh, that was at the beginning of the match. Yeah, the thing I like about these kind of matches is because I like this better when you have some other storylines that are going to play out, because then you're left with the teams to add some people who normally wouldn't get a shot at stuff, like Dana Brooke.
Yeah.
If Dana Brooke, because you had Bayley and you had Shayna and you had Becky Lynch in the main event, that meant you weren't going to use them in the normal elimination match. So you do fill it in with Dana Brooke or somebody else who deserves that shot and has that chance to shine. Like Vic was just saying, you get to see Carmella, she's getting better. Okay, so you got to see Dana Brooke do some stuff where you're like, dude, I didn't see that from Dana Brooke coming out. Before Sarah Logan had a couple of spots in there.
I was going to say about Sarah Logan. I'm like, Sarah Logan also put her 2 cents in, which was very cool because it's very, very rare we ever get to see her put her 2 cents in, especially on Raw or on any TV taping at all. Mm-hmm. But she did a real good job. She did a very great job.
Yeah, she's another one that I must have. Did I miss the storyline of how she ended up on that team? Because she's been gone for quite some time, and then all of a sudden she just comes back and she's all of a sudden on the team.
Sarah Logan, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't remember how that played out, but with Carmella and Dana Brooke, it was some tag team stuff that they went through. There were some qualification match type stuff. Might have been something like that. The one that I was surprised didn't last as long as she probably should have was Toni Storm. She went out a little quicker than I would have thought she would have, being an NXT UK champion and the Mae Young Classic winner, and was part of Evolution, the pay-per-view. She didn't get as much time in as I thought she would have. Just something different. Something I noticed.
But what was that, man? Leo Shirai and Candice LeRae, they got hurt in the beginning of the match, so they were down to three women in the beginning. I don't know if you noticed that
they were down. Yeah, they were down to 2, and then after that, Toni Storm immediately got eliminated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the reasoning for that was. They definitely they were part of the winning team, right? It wasn't just Rhea. It was Rhea, Candice. Well, no,
because they came back and helped at the end.
Yeah, they never got eliminated.
Right.
That's what we were supposed to believe.
Yeah, they came back and pulled Rhea Ripley out of the ring at the end from a pinning situation.
Yeah, so I thought it was a great match. Again, another one where I don't know if it was quite better than the men's match, but it was good.
Rhea Ripley's stock is going up, dude.
Oh, big time.
She's going up after
the cheers. NXT was way over in this match.
Big time. But you know what?
Sorry, the pay-per-view. The entire pay-per-view. I don't mean the match. The entire
pay-per-view. You know what? And it's just so funny because in the past, a lot of these Survivor Series has always been Raw dominating everything. And this Survivor Series, Raw is the B show. But NXT dominated, but SmackDown came a close second. SmackDown can never have their day in the sun. I hate to say it when it comes to Survivor Series. And they're the A team. They're the A brand.
Yeah, I mean, but in this case, Raw actually came in as the C brand because if they were the only ones. SmackDown had they didn't even have any wins, did they?
SmackDown had 3 wins, I think. 3 wins.
I think it was 4-3-1.
Yeah.
Right. So if Bayley had won, it would have been a tie.
Yes.
No, SmackDown. Yeah.
Yeah.
SmackDown would have won or something like that. Yeah, because Viking Raiders were the only win for Raw, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that wasn't even on the main show.
Right.
Pretty sad.
So that tells you right there where Raw is.
Yeah, actually, you know what? The pre-show went 1-1-1. Yeah. Everybody had a win.
You know what? The funniest part in that the funniest part in the whole men's match. We're talking about the men's match here, right?
Oh, we can jump into the men's match.
My bad. My bad, bro.
No worries.
Let's finish off the women's match. Then talk about that.
I think we got it.
You got it?
I don't have anything else to say.
Yeah, I mean, Rhea Ripley is the biggest thing just to come out of that. You know, she's obviously getting a big push.
She's the biggest thing to come out of this whole damn weekend.
Yeah. I mean, I thought for a while there that Toni Storm was going to be the biggest up-and-comer. No.
Yeah.
It's Rhea Ripley.
Look at what she had. Friday night she pinned Charlotte Flair. Saturday she pinned Shayna Baszler. On Sunday she won Survivor Series. 3 days in a row.
Yeah. She's the in fact MJF.
Yeah.
Of all of WWE.
Yeah.
So then we had the mid card title, I guess, match. Champions triple threat match. Roderick Strong, AJ Styles, and Shinsuke. We already kind of brought up what we thought about Roderick Strong.
Can we talk about the new IC belt real fast?
There you go. Boom! I want to hear this. I want to hear Anthony's reaction here.
I like it. It's old school. It's almost we were talking about promotions, earlier. It's almost very promotional. Like it almost looks like something from NWA or even or ECW. It's not all flashy with the white belt and it's very street, but it's no spinner belt.
No, okay. And here's my take on the IC belt right now. I'll be honest. I'm very old school. The old school IC belt with the white strap, it was cool. It meant something. But I never cared for the Attitude Era IC belt. Never cared for it. But I actually like this title, the brand new Intercontinental title. It's not bad. The title it's almost similar to like the IWGP title, like in Japan, pretty much. Mm-hmm. Almost exact similar design.
It's got a look. Yeah, I see what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
It got that look, a little bit of flashy here and there. I'll be honest with you, that IC title should be the World Heavyweight title. That title's 10 times better than whatever crap Brock and the Phoenix is carrying. I'll tell you
Agreed.
that. I will buy that. I will buy that title, bro. I don't, that thing it's presentable, it's promotable. I'm like, it looks sweet, dude. I just love it.
Does it look like to you that it has changeable plates on the wings?
Yeah, it does. It has Nakamura's plates.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because up until now they haven't had plates on the IC belt, and that's an interesting that they've gone to that then.
Yeah, I know with the US title, it's actually a nameplate that they add to the winner, kind of like how the old big gold belt had. Yeah, but what I would like to see them down the road to do, and just change. I know I'm changing the subject here. Do it how IWGP does it, meaning have all the past champions, have them on a plate on the side of the belt. You know what I mean? That would be pretty cool, in my opinion. Keeping the past alive.
Do they have that?
Yeah, in IWGP, New Japan Pro Wrestling, they the World Heavyweight Championship, the belt, they actually have all the past champions that have held the heavyweight title.
And it can't be that many then.
No, it's a lot.
Otherwise,
yeah.
I don't know how they do that. It's got to be super small.
Yeah,
because if they tried to do that, do that with the IC belt, it end up looking like the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, the first World Heavyweight Champion, of course, is the immortal Hulk Hogan, and he actually won. At that time, it was actually a tournament that he won it, and he defeated Antonio Inoki. That was back in 1982. Actually, Hogan's Japanese name, Does anybody know? There's a fun fact here. No?
No,
Anyone?
I don't know it.
No.
He was called Ichiban. And Ichiban is number 1. That was his nickname. So he's had a lot of legendary matches with him tagging with Stan Hansen back in the 80s. So just a quick quick wrestling knowledge here. But go ahead, man.
You know, there have been 69 IWGP champions.
Ah.
And it looks I'm looking at the belt.
How many IC?
Well, hold on. I'm looking at the belt right now. The IWGP belt, a picture of it. I don't know how they get that many on there unless they don't count. Unless they don't count separate titles.
They probably retire the plates, dude. That's what I'm kind of guessing.
Like right now, Okada's the champion right now, right? His name would only have to be on there once, although he's been champion this is his 5th time. Makes sense? He only needs his name on there once.
So they just put names. They don't put dates
it doesn't
or
look
anything.
like,
You
it just looks like,
names.
I can't tell. The picture's not clear, but like looking at how many plates there appear to be, looks like it would just be names. So like, you'd only put Hulk Hogan on there one time. You only put McFoot on there one time, even though he's had the belt 16 times. So there haven't been 69 champions. There have been 69 different reigns.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So, right.
That must be how that works out. So I was gonna say something else and it's gone. Oh well. Anyway, we were talking about a match. Was this match anything other than you thought it would be with 3 guys like that?
I thought that Sami Zayn would have been more of a factor.
I would have thought the OC would have come in with.
Yes, that too. Yes.
Okay, so there was some stuff you thought was missing, but I think generally the type of match you were going to get out of these guys, you got.
I feel like that those kind of things probably didn't happen because of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That if it was a regular pay-per-view without long matches like the Survivor Series matches, that they would have had, Sami Zayn would have been there interfering. Then the OC would have came down, interfered, and then Undisputed Era would have came down and interfered, or something like that, or at least Fish and O'Reilly.
Okay.
It would have been cool because think of it this way: it would have been cool if everybody got involved. And then the following, like tonight, it'll be in there in Chicago. We're going to have the Chicago street fight in the parking lot. Undisputed Era, Sami Zayn, Undisputed Era, OC, Sami Zayn, and Nakamura. They pick 2 other guys randomly from the locker room to get involved in this street fight. That would be pretty cool.
Hey, you were talking about when Shinsuke got the new title on SmackDown from Sami Zayn. I pop when Shinsuke speaks English, dude. It's funny.
Yeah.
What he said the other day, I don't know. I'm drawing a blank. I freaking popped. I couldn't remember Roderick Strong's name. Oh man, I popped for that kind of stuff. I think it was funny. I popped at that, and I popped when somehow AJ Styles and Shinsuke ended up in a standoff, and Shinsuke pulled his "Come on." Yeah, I popped for that too. I thought it was cool.
You know what? AJ and Shinsuke, man, they work. They're like 2 dance partners, man. They work well together, dude.
Yeah, but Roderick Strong held in there with him, man. You got to admit.
Yeah,
he fit right in. He's one of those workers. AJ Styles and Roderick Strong have gone at it before in Ring of Honor. So these 3 guys are not strangers. Shinsuke has fought him before too. These 3 guys are not strangers to each other.
I just didn't like the finish, dude. To be honest, I just did not like the finish when AJ came in with the forearm. Yeah, I did not. I just didn't like it. I wish it could have gone a little different way. You know what I mean? But
let me talk about not liking a finish in about a minute and a half when we go through the Adam Cole and Pete Dunne match. Adam Cole.
That
and Pete
match. Dunne. I love that match, man. It's you know what? When Pete Dunne gets down and dirty, man, it's like a clinic, bro.
I hated Pete Dunne. I hated Pete Dunne when I watched the UK tournament. I hated Pete Dunne. I don't know. I just didn't like him. That he grew on me. And you can see, like, yeah, this guy earned his spot, man.
Yeah, the Pete Dunne. He's a Dynamite Kid meets Billy Robinson meets Chris Benoit.
Tough son of a bitch is what he is.
That guy, the bruiserweight. He's a. You know what? And I here I am. We always go with fantasy booking here. I would like to see Daniel Bryan against this guy.
Yeah,
I think they will deliver a good match. You know,
there was a reason the UK longest running modern day champion is Pete Dunne with that UK title at almost 700 days, almost 2 years he held that belt. When they took it from him, you knew there was a reason that he was going to do something new, and it looks like that's something new. I think he took a little bit of time off to kind of do the family thing because the last Wargames he had a kid.
Yeah,
he fought in the thing and then flew home and his son was born or whatever it was. It's going to be his time in NXT. He's actually going to do some time here and make it known that he's a contender.
I don't see him. I don't see him going to the main roster anytime soon. Like, down the road. He shouldn't even be in the main roster. Period. He'll be in NXT for a while, contending with the NXT title.
Neither should Adam Cole, to be honest with you. Adam Cole should not be on the main roster. He's going to get buried. Yeah. I mean, he's put up some fantastic matches against Seth Rollins and Daniel Bryan, but he'd get buried on that main roster.
At most, he would make it to mid-card IC United States level, but that's about it.
Yeah, and you knew that a long time ago. And there's rumors that
because he's not a heavyweight.
No, you got a couple people in NXT who just belong in NXT.
I mean, you look at Finn Balor. You think Finn Balor got a raw deal? Gets a raw deal from Vince going to the main card. Yeah, Adam Cole would be way worse.
So would Tommaso. So would Johnny. They'd get the same raw deal. Those guys don't need to move up
because they're small guys. They're small guys. They're not the type of guy that Vince McMahon wants. Big guys, big strong guys.
All the top NXT guys are small guys.
Yeah.
And we say small guys, and they're all hovering around 5'10". They're taller than me.
Yeah. But that's what makes that brand of wrestling, that product, that's what makes it cool. That's what makes it pop. The high spots. It's a lot quicker pace. It's not. It's actual wrestling, for God's sakes, man.
Yeah, no, the guy that's going to be big in the main shows eventually is going to be Keith Lee.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second.
And what's his name? Dragovic, or however you say his name.
Dijakovic,
yeah, that guy.
Fantastic match, hard hitting. Two of the best workers they got. They sold their injuries really well, I thought. Every time Pete Dunne came down, I'm sure it does hurt him, but he was selling it really well. Every time he did something, landed on that knee, it was like, which I probably sure really did hurt him. But he was selling it really well.
Just, it was so, you know what, I'm like, give him praises, man. After 24 hours of working those, Pete Dunne in the triple threat match. Then Adam Cole on that high spot with Ciampa inside the cage. Give those guys credit. They're bandaged up and they're ready to go on. They're hurting, but they're ready to go at 100%. And they didn't disappoint. They did not disappoint. And the only thing that kind of got me the wrong way was in the last part when Pete Dunne loses his mouthpiece. He's about to go get it, and Adam Cole steps on his hand. Instead of so Pete Dunne wouldn't get it, wouldn't get the mouthpiece, and it was a good match, man. I actually enjoyed it. That was the best. I told Dan that was the best match of the night, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The Adam Cole Pete Dunne match. That was probably the best match of the night.
Okay, this next one. Here I go. I'm ready. Here we go. All kinds of questions for this one. I got some questions for you. Number one, the red light.
Yeah, it's my first thing. What the hell?
Just as I was watching it, all I thought was Dan. Now he's going to complain about the red light.
I am going to complain about the damn red light.
God,
it takes something away from it. It just does. Okay, second. Here's a question for you. Is The Fiend over? Is Bray Wyatt over? Or is the mask over? The look of the character. Which one is it?
Firefly Funhouse Bray is over. The Fiend is just there.
Because there's no different crazy moveset. Nothing.
I mean, he's just an extent. He's just the old Bray Wyatt, but with a different. I don't know.
But is that
persona.
okay? So the
I mean, because even
Funhouse,
the music is the same. It's just slowed down.
Yeah, Firefly Funhouse, I give you, is over. But is that over just because it's weird? And then you got no backstory to anything.
No, it's over because he actually talks.
Okay, but the Fiend doesn't.
And he's a great talker. Well, I think it just extends to the Fiend by virtue of everybody knows he's the same person, but he's not over because of the Fiend. He's over because of Bray Wyatt is gotten himself over by talking, but that extends to the Fiend.
Okay, here you
know what I mean?
Yeah. How long is that going to last?
As long as.
And are you backing it into a corner like Braun Strowman?
Yeah, I mean that's obvious, especially by the whole they're taking the Undertaker and Kane sitting up thing to like a whole nother level. We already talked about that last time. After Crown Jewel
takes everybody's finish and still gets getting up. Who's gonna beat him? Problem here is with Braun Strowman, you eliminate that by never giving him the title. We'll talk about it in a second, but he got counted out of the men's match. That's how you beat him. Why? Because nobody's going to pin him. He got counted out. Who beats the Fiend?
We already know. Everybody knows who's going to beat the Fiend. Nobody wants to admit it.
Wait, Roman?
Yeah.
Oh God.
I mean, am I wrong? Am I wrong?
You know what? I'm gonna say this. No, you're not wrong because that's pretty much Vince's cash cow.
I mean,
whatever Vince wants, Vince gets.
He really had no business, based on storylines, being the captain of the SmackDown team.
He shouldn't have a feud going into it.
Yeah, he was last man standing on SmackDown, and that's his push. And I wouldn't even, he's probably gonna have a big if he's not fighting for a championship, he's probably gonna have a big a good, even if he doesn't win, he's going to have a excellent showing at Royal Rumble.
I just, I'm seriously, is Vince capable of pushing Roman to end the Fiend? I think it's too early for him. I think it's too early to give up, to take the title away from the Fiend.
It was too early to give him the belt.
Bury him.
It was way too early to give him the belt. Who did the Fiend beat? He beat Finn Balor.
Seth Rollins.
No, I know that to win the belt, but to even earn the chance to face Seth Rollins, who did he beat? He beat Finn Balor. That's it.
Yeah.
He didn't beat anyone else.
And he defeated Finn Balor without using the red light. Yeah, remember that.
He retired right. Finn Balor. He retired Finn Balor to NXT.
He took his ball. He took his ball and went home.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but he didn't beat anybody else. So why does he deserve it?
No, the idea is that we have to hope, like beyond everything, we have to hope that they know how they're going to reconcile the split between Firefly Funhouse Bray and the Fiend, and whether they're going to separate them at some point and just have him be one or the other.
So, a couple of weeks ago, Miz was supposed to have Bray Wyatt on Miz TV, and it didn't happen. Honestly, it didn't happen because of the plane flight. But were you going to get that? Were you going to get him out on the thing? Are we ever going to see Bray Wyatt?
No, I think he was going to be on the screen and probably somebody. I don't know. I mean, that's what you would have to hope so. But I mean, the Fiend has to get broken.
Yeah, I just think it's very limiting.
You need to. They need to have a story worked out. Otherwise, it's going to end up being. It's going to end up all fracturing stupidly, like every other attempt that they've done to have Bray Wyatt be bad.
Okay, quick question. How long did it take the Undertaker to be broken? How long?
The American Badass.
Well, we're talking about like late, like early in his career. When he first came out, he was an unstoppable force. And I want to say when he lost that casket match to Yokozuna, I think that's where he got kind of like, okay, took some time out, broken, came back. I'm like, it's gonna take somebody, maybe like a guy like a Brock Lesnar, maybe a guy like, yep.
Well, if you want, okay, I'll point out a better instance of Undertaker being broken. The Paul Bearer's betrayal to Kane. That broke the Undertaker. So you need something like that.
Yeah.
And I thought that did you think that Bray Wyatt, when he said that when he got on the screen, he told Daniel Bryan, "You know why I'm doing this"? Do you think he was referring to the Wyatt family thing, or do you think it was something more recent, just arbitrary?
I don't know, because I'm going to be honest with you, half the time I don't pay attention.
Oh, okay. Because he sounded like he referenced, because Daniel Bryan, when he was on Miz TV, and Bray Wyatt got on the screen, and he was talking about, why are you attacking me? And Bray Wyatt said, "You know why. You remember, don't you?" Or something like that.
Yeah,
I thought for sure it was a reference to the Wyatt family incident.
Maybe.
I thought that Daniel Bryan could be the some sort of key to breaking Wyatt, but obviously that was just, I feel like that's just a one and done thing with Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, that's what I think. And then like you said, Anthony, if they are gonna push for a Fiend versus Roman Reigns main event at WrestleMania and have Roman bury the Fiend, just like bury the Undertaker, making it seem like he's the top guy who buried these two, mysterious, forces. You know what I mean? I don't know. I still haven't gotten over Roman Reigns defeating the Undertaker that one WrestleMania. But anyway, go ahead. Sorry, I'm still bitter.
How do you beat him? Because look, even with Seth and Brock Lesnar, how many curb stones?
It can't be a regular match. It has to be a gimmick.
I was gonna say maybe a Hell in a Cell.
No, not even Hell in a Cell, because we're just gonna end up with a red cell again.
No, been done.
No,
yeah.
It has to be something. It has to be something. Like a buried alive match, or a casket match, or or an ambulance match, or something along those lines. Something where he doesn't have to pin the Fiend to beat him.
Maybe he just
you know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe he just gets Seth Rollins to turn on the lights, and his power's gone.
That's funny.
Just,
then spear 1, 2, 3,
or Superman punch. I'm like,
yeah,
5,000 Superman punches.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Look what you got.
He's gonna do. He's gonna do 10 Superman punches, but then the one spear is gonna be what gets him.
Yeah.
So that's why I mentioned the Braun Strowman thing, because I think you're already backed him into a corner. We already know I'm not a fan of Bray Wyatt. I'm just not. That's why I didn't pay attention when you asked me that question. I think because I'm not a fan of Bray Wyatt. I have not been in a long time.
I like the Firefly Funhouse Bray. I think anytime his spots, his talking spots are, I think, great, and it's been one of the I've said on past shows that I think that and the 24/7 were two of the best things that they had actually going as far as storylines go. But yeah, if you can't get something going with the Fiend, or if you can't have the Fiend be, if the Fiend's just going to be in ring, and it gets boring.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's no story behind it or anything like that. There's no chance for a character development other than Bray Wyatt, in the Firefly Funhouse. But you're apparently not going to see that Bray Wyatt. So what's the point?
The persona. Yeah. It's the persona, man. It's the persona. It's like Clark Kent turning into Superman.
Or the only other option is that you come up with something where that's not really Bray.
Yeah.
Quote unquote, it's not really Bray, like a la like fake Undertaker, or something
Fake
like
Kane.
that. Yeah, fake Kane, or
fake Diesel.
just any. Oh yeah, fake Diesel. It could
Fake
just be a
Razor.
long, right? Just another one of those type of things, or it's just they have to. I don't know. I'm just afraid that it's a great concept, but it seems like it's being executed very sloppily. But that's on brand.
Yeah.
So I mean, what can you do?
I just don't see it going anywhere. And then all of a sudden you had Daniel Bryan put on a hell of a performance with all these kicks and moves. You thought, man, that's take out any normal person.
The yes movement is coming back.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
All of a sudden, next thing you know, Fiend's fingers are in his mouth. Match over.
Yeah.
Apparently passed out. I was just like, okay, next.
I mean, the only other way I could think of that you break the Fiend is by turning him face.
How about an Inferno match?
A la Mankind. Oh yeah, an Inferno match would be awesome. I haven't seen one of those in a long time.
With the red light, would be
pretty cool.
Dan's never gonna let them go with the red light until they get rid of it.
You guys don't want to hear this, but I actually did hear Corey Graves say, like, can you get rid of that damn red light? He doesn't like it either.
Ah, shit.
No, I'm not gonna let the red light go. The men's match. Another thing where I think you put the men in here, and much like the women, it gives guys a chance to shine that normally wouldn't. And again, you guys have, I mean, yeah, you did have Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman, but Mustafa Ali, Shorty G. I guess that's it. Really, those guys got a chance to shine.
Batman Beyond.
Right. That's what it was. I knew. I was like, man, is that dark? Is that Nightwing? I was like, no, it's not Nightwing. I know Nightwing is blue, but I couldn't think of it.
He already did Nightwing.
Right, and that's why I was thinking that too. I was like, he already did Nightwing. It was Batman Beyond. Okay.
Yeah, it was Batman Beyond. In fact, Will Friedle, the voice of Batman Beyond, tweeted at Ricochet on Twitter.
I did see him say that. Yeah, that he said talk to Will Friedle today.
Yeah. You'll be hearing from my lawyers at Warner Brothers.
Right.
Now, you know what? The match was pretty good actually. It was it took a while to pick up in a way. One of the matchups that I liked was when Riddle was going head to head with Shorty G. Pretty much the grounds game.
It was wrestling.
Pretty much MMA and amateur freestyle wrestling, and then just the fact that they got into a ankle lock, then reversed back to it. Then Riddle got some an ankle lock. The one part the stalemate. Yeah. The stalemate was pretty cool. I'm like, cool. Hey, yeah, love it.
Hey, Riddle pinning Orton was cool.
Oh yeah, yeah. That
was big.
Yeah, unfortunately, Riddle or Orton got the last word on that, but
yeah, well, you knew that was immediately going to happen, but
yeah, you knew it had to happen,
right?
You mentioned Strowman. I thought that they kept him. He was pretty restrained as far as his storyline in the match. He did have a couple spots, obviously, with Keith Lee, but that had already been set up on.
Actually, you know what?
Raw, I think.
I'll be honest with you though. When Keith Lee took on Walter. He made Walter look good, man. Braun Strowman, he made Walter look good. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, actually, I was just going to mention that. Strowman, McIntyre, and Walter. When those three were in there together, it was like, man, those guys are hitting each other hard. That could be something. Unfortunately, they jobbed Walter out pretty quick. First one eliminated. Yeah. Really. As big as that dude is, but there's something for him down the line. Definitely. I think that him and Strowman would actually be a match I'd want to see. Because I think Walter could be one you put, like, Walter can beat Braun Strowman. I think that's
probably could.
That's a possibility. But I think in the shorter term, that's Drew McIntyre. I think that's definitely going to be Drew McIntyre, who we see beat Braun Strowman clean. Like, I think you might see that coming. What else did I see in that match? That was good. Just jump to the end. I mean, there was a whole bunch of small spots.
Yeah, the small spots for a lot of the not Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins were mostly in the middle of the match, because by the time you get to the end, it's all Rollins and Reigns working together, and yeah.
I just like the part when Rollins, the whole crowd is chanting NXT, NXT, and Rollins just had it up to here. He was just like, "This is all you want, NXT? I built NXT. It's my house, and it's time to burn it."
Yeah.
And then I think Keith Lee just got him and just boom, 1, 2, 3, easy pin right there. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That was a pretty cool part, actually.
It was. The whole match was good. What's it called? When Roman speared Corbin, and then Tommaso kind of looks like, I'm supposed to pin him, and then kind of does it, like, is this what I'm seeing happen here? And yeah, it was.
Hey, you know what? I agree with Graves though.
What's that?
Roman is not a team captain. Okay, he's not a team player. Look what he did. The hell.
Yep. I did hear, actually, again, I told you I listened to Graves' podcast. I got through a couple of them today. I was kind of starting to put up Christmas lights. Reigns was talking about Corbin on there. And again, I told you guys before, as much as you guys hate Corbin, people like him. People like him because he's put in his time to learn his craft. Like, you hate him. That's
he's doing
his job. Yeah. You hate him. And everybody puts him over. It's like, no, he does his job. He totally does his job, and he gets it. He gets how that's supposed to work.
I still say that he's shit on the mic.
Yeah. I mean, that probably, if anything, needs the most work.
And there's people that have been, they had their opportunities taken away for less. Cesaro's one of those.
Yes.
Yeah. Did we see Cesaro? We didn't even see Cesaro in this Survivor Series.
No.
No, he probably worked
God damn
things before.
Yeah, Cesaro's one of those people in the past that, because of his lack of skills on the mic, has had opportunities taken away. And that's why I don't like Corbin, is because of people that he is obviously terrible on the mic, but yet he's continuously given these, kept up on the higher echelons, while Cesaro keeps bouncing around between mid and low card, it seems like, anymore. So, Cesaro's just an example. There's a lot of other people that I can think of that probably are similar, but, he's just one that, he got a big push, a few years ago. He won the Andre the Giant. Now, granted, stupid, long before stupid Corbin won the Battle Royal, when it actually meant something to win the Battle Royal. But, it never really meant anything to win the Battle Royal, but, Big Show won it. So that was just symbolic, though.
Yeah, Corbin, like I said, he's doing his job, but
he's doing his job in the ring. Vince
loves him. Vince likes him.
Yeah.
So
well, that's obvious. That's why he's getting a chance, and other people don't.
Yeah.
But he's going to continue to be there. We're going to continue to have to listen to the stupid Baron King Corbin crap.
Yeah.
You know what I popped for again on Friday, when he was trying to get everybody to pay attention to open the doors. No one listened to him, and as soon as Roman went up there and said anything, everybody stopped.
Yeah, that was great.
So he gets it, man. I'm telling you, he gets it. Anything else about the men's match?
Keith Lee, he's
the next star.
Yeah, there's no reason why a man his size should be able to move like that. And it's been said before. It's been said about people like KO, Samoa Joe, exactly. I said the same thing when I saw him moving. I'm like, damn, that reminds me. He's like Samoa Joe and KO, but like twice as big. And there's no excuse for a guy that big to be able to move like that. And that's why he's gonna be successful.
Did you watch his matches with Dijakovic in NXT?
No, I haven't seen any of those. I know.
Neither one of those guys should do that.
I've actually watched a lot of Keith Lee stuff from his independent days, when he wrestled Sami Callihan and a couple of other matches.
Who's like half his size. Sammy
Very,
Callahan,
yeah, dude. Very agile big man. I don't know how he's. Like I said, he reminds me of Samoa Joe. That Samoa Joe and him will be an interesting match.
Yeah, it's like if Mark Henry could move.
Yeah.
I mean, Mark Henry could move, but if Mark Henry could really move and do high spots, that's Keith Lee.
Oh yeah.
He's definitely he's the breakout star of that match.
But yeah, Dijakovic, he's imposing. You could tell when he was in the ring with just when he got in the ring of the Wargames match, how huge he is, just towering over Roderick Strong and the others, and he looks like he could just dominate. And he's one of those guys that deserves to step over the top rope.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the thing with you. I like that. It's over with it. All right, let's move on and talk about the match between Brock Lesnar and Doink.
Yeah, I had already seen the picture, the meme of him. Somebody had already posted it on on the wrestling page on Facebook.
Yeah.
But then when he came out, I was like, I mean, was it intentional?
I have no idea. Was it Mexican colors?
I mean, there's no way that. I mean, even with the way that the hair, or the froof on top and all that, it's just there's no way it wasn't intentional. I don't know why he would.
As far as Doink, I don't know if Doink was intentional. Pretty sure it was Mexico, red, white, and green.
Well, nobody saw Mexico. Everybody saw Doink. There's no way that how could he have not been in the back, or at least made it all the way to Gorilla without somebody at least saying, "Hey, you look like Doink. Go change." I'm just, it's a complete breakdown of everything. Or else that people don't like Rey Mysterio that much, where they just want to fine, let him go out there and look like Doink. That's on him.
I saw somebody post something on Twitter? On Twitter or something, where somebody said Dominic came off looking better than Walter.
I mean, his 619 was clean.
So was his frog splash. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
You know what? The kid's getting better, and he's able to take bumps. I'm like, give him a year or two. I think he'll be ready. He will be ready, and it looks like he was going to do a moonsault before Brock caught him with that suplex.
I don't know, but pretty much a throwaway of a match.
Yeah, I
Worst match on the card.
I fast forwarded through all of it up until the towel.
Yeah. Dominic came in.
He was gonna go MJF. Yeah, he was gonna go MJF on him.
Yeah, he was gonna MJF. And then I watched. I saw the like I said, the 619, the double 619 was kind of cool. But that was about the only cool part of that whole match. Otherwise, it was all everybody knew how it would turn out.
Correct.
Yeah.
It was pointless.
Yep. That was a throwaway match.
I was expecting Brock Lesnar to do a double F5, have Dominic carry Dominic and Ray. Double F5. That would be interesting. That would have been interesting. Yeah.
Could be done. He's strong enough.
But you know what? I'm like, it kind of did give me a little good. It kind of gave me some goosebumps just to see, both father and son, doing that. I'm like, the match was pretty bad. Just the good part, which is Dominic being involved in it. See how
it's only because he's really Eddie's son.
Oh,
deep dive.
I guess Ray Jr. was shooting blacks after all, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, how good was the women's match not?
Oh god, that shit stunk.
You know what? As much as I love the fact that they had another main event, it didn't really live up to main event.
No, it didn't.
No.
It was all just to get, Baszler over with the regular crowd. Is that what everybody else thinks?
I think so. Yeah. Now, I don't think I thought that before, but now that you say it, I'm like, yeah, probably.
I mean, because why else have her win?
Right.
Becky by all rights.
Go ahead.
Or if anything, storyline wise, it made more sense for Bayley to win, so that way SmackDown pulls out the tie or the win or whatever it would have worked out to you math-wise.
Yeah, but come on, dude. If you compare Bailey to Baszler, I'm like, you knew Bailey was going to lose that match.
Well, no. That's what I mean. Storyline-wise, it makes sense for her to win just because of the overall storyline of the pay-per-view.
Yeah, NXT. Yeah.
Right. Rightfully, Becky should have won just based on overall storyline between the three women.
How much are we setting up 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen?
Well, I mean, they've been setting up for it for
2 years now.
What? No, longer than that. You don't remember that one WrestleMania when Ronda was a year before Ronda was even in WWE, when she was at WrestleMania with the three, and her and the 2 horsewomen got into it backstage. Do you remember that?
Yeah, no, I do. Yeah.
That was like 4 or 5 years ago, whenever that was. Because how long has it been since Ronda came in? It was at least a year or 2 before that.
Wasn't it Ronda's kind of like UFC clique, whatever?
Yeah, that's them.
Arts clique. Yeah,
that's them.
Baszler
and her 2 cronies from NXT plus Ronda are the 4 horsewomen of MMA. So they've been setting that up for a long time. We thought they were setting up for at least Ronda versus Charlotte for the longest, but then that didn't happen, really. So, I mean, I could see it. It all comes to Ronda coming back if they do that. Maybe that's the only reason why they want to bring her back. I don't know.
Yeah.
If they do it, it's going to be more of a gimmick, and it's not going to be any indication of the 3 horsewomen event from NXT coming to the main rosters, because, as we said before, they're just not Vince's type of, they're not divas.
Yeah.
It's going to be a while before we see Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir up on the main roster, if ever.
I mean, they're not even really doing anything in NXT, are they?
I think they're I think they're still working for the Performance Center piece of it. Still training to do that. I mean, they're there just to get heat. For saying
right.
Which I mean, they do. So, weird question for you. How much hotter is Bailey with the soccer mom hair and the attitude?
The Karen?
Yeah.
She cool Karen?
I don't know why, dude. I was like, oh, she's a lot more attractive like that.
Did you see when she walked into the match and she was wearing the belt? You could see the AEW.
That's been all over for weeks. Since she redesigned that gear, that's been all over for weeks.
But, it's still funny every time.
Yeah, it is, but it's like right there. So
man, you would think they would come out with a different costume for her.
You would think somebody would go see all the memes online and be like, "Yeah, change this up." I think you need some new ring attire.
Yeah. I'll smash.
Was the match just not good?
Get in line.
Or was it just? Was it not good? Was the pay-per-view just too long? Did the 3 of them together just not have chemistry?
You know what? It sucked the air out of the entire crowd, man. It wasn't interesting. It didn't seem interesting at all.
You heard boring chants at one point. Did you hear them?
Yeah.
I wasn't listening for them, but
you also heard CM Punk chants as well.
Well, the CM Punk chants were all over the place. But yeah, at one point, about a third of the way through the match, I heard. I wasn't even looking, and I was just listening, and I look and I hear boring, and I'm like, whoa, that's not good. It doesn't bode well for women as main events when you have a main event that doesn't go over well. It's a bad thing. For the women overall to have a main event not go over. So hopefully at least the ending with somehow at least went over, so that way it doesn't sour Vince to allowing the women main events.
I'll be honest.
That's my biggest concern about the whole thing. That's my biggest concern.
I'll be honest, man. That match reminded me when I went to WrestleMania a couple years ago at New Orleans to see I saw the main event of Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. At Mania, and let me tell you something. During the whole time I was there, everybody was yelling boring. Everybody was chanting boring. It's just we got more reaction when there was a beach ball, one of those plastic beach ball from the 99 cent store.
Yeah.
Everybody was throwing it out.
It pissed off pretty much the performers in the ring. But the point is, man, I don't know. It just sucked the air out of that entire arena, man. It wasn't. I don't know. I really wasn't into it. It sucked, to be honest.
The problem is that the match before it wouldn't have been any better of an ending.
No, that you had the men's elimination match had to headline that card.
Yes, that's what probably should have been.
Or
I would have done the women's.
Yeah, I was gonna say as hot as Rhea Ripley is right now, that probably would have been a better. That should have been an audible. Let's go with this one because we're gonna put her over. So
yeah, they should have flexed that one to the primetime spot.
Especially since they keep talking about NXT women are the hottest thing going right now.
Well, that's it. That's Shayna Baszler. That's why she got out. That's her. It wasn't the Rhea Ripley spot. It was the Shayna Baszler spot to wrap up the pay-per-view, and I think that was intentional.
Yeah.
Because if anything, what they're doing is they're hyping up Shayna Baszler and Rhea Ripley to hype up that eventual match.
Maybe.
I mean, it has to be. I mean, why else have Shayna Baszler be the winner of the main event of a WWE pay-per-view?
Yeah, well, you got that, but you still had that beatdown by Becky Lynch to end the pay-per-view.
Well, yeah, that's true, but
like Bruce Pritchard used to says, Hulk Hogan's got to pose. That's this thing. Whenever he talks about shit like that, we're like, why did this happen? Hulk Hogan's got to pose. Lose a match, still get the beatdown. Why? Hulk Hogan's got to pose.
There you go.
So it's Becky Lynch got to flex.
Yeah. She has to. And like I said, the match, they didn't care for the match, but overall, it's just Vince McMahon was even disappointed with the match.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. So I'm like, but also at the same time, you also have to think. I'm like, how much of the women's division are they gonna stuff it down our throats? You know what I mean? How much content are they gonna push?
I hope they stuff it down our throats to the point where there's sad men out there calling it forced diversity in wrestling. That's how far I hope they take it. No, I'm just kidding. No, seriously though, I don't see why not. If they're the better product, why not have them get the spotlight? That's what that's all I mean, if they're what's selling, then let them sell.
Yeah, I don't know what you could have done. I don't know what you could have done different in that match, in that main event. I don't know what you could have done different.
If it had been an actual championship match, there's a lot of things you could have had done. You could have had Rhea Ripley come out and screw Shayna Baszler somehow, or any number of people come out. Sasha come out. I am really surprised that you didn't have any like runouts on each person or anything, or any huge lot of NXT people coming out and having any kind of spots like that. It would have put that cherry on top of the whole rivalry between the three brands.
You know what? And come to think of it, and that would not be a bad idea. Have the pay-per-view end with all of SmackDown, Raw, and NXT, the men and women, and they just finish the pay-per-view with the brawl inside the ring and outside the ring. Just that would be, that would be my take. It'll be a no contest, because everybody got involved. They
kind of already did a version of that. What was it, last week or the week before, where they had the taping end with them all brawling? But definitely, or at least in this case, the women or women who have stakes in things, like I said, like Sasha, like Rhea, like anybody else could have just at least come out. But it ended how they ended it, and I'm sure we'll find out at some point. The getting over Shayna Baszler, probably for people that aren't really familiar with her, or that don't really, there's probably people that just kind of think that she's kind of boring. I think she's kind of boring, but that's because I'm not a big fan of the whole MMA, scene thing. So I could care less that you were some badass in MMA, just like I could care less that you're some whatever Golden Gloves boxing champion. I don't care about that shit either, Baron Corbin. But so the whole MMA thing, that doesn't impress me, so I can give a shit about it. So pretty much I could give a shit about Shayna Baszler. I just know that she's the person that took the belt from Kairi Sane. That's the only thing I really know about her, and I know about the whole Four Horsewomen thing. This is them, saying, okay, she's more than just that. You know what I mean? I don't even care about her, and here I am sticking up for her to the ending.
Yeah.
I don't know why. But
so I'm guessing you have seen that South Park meme, right? Of the MMA, right?
Oh, I don't know if I've seen that one.
The one that's they photoshopped Dana White's face going to the bar while everybody's watching professional wrestling. And he goes, "That's not a sport. This is a real sport." Then everybody at the bar is like, he's like, "Mister, you can take your gay port to get the hell out of here."
That's funny.
I'll send you that meme, Dave. Seriously, I have it somewhere.
Well, that wrapped up the pay-per-view for us. None of us have watched Raw yet, so we don't know where anything is going. Record this Raw's recording.
Also,
it's over now, but
I was gonna tell you guys. Yes, last week's numbers for the AEW Dynamite and NXT came out on top. First time in 6-7 weeks.
I will admit to you that last week NXT was a better show.
It was a better show, but at the same time, what are they going to do? Are they going to start sending Raw and SmackDown superstars to NXT just to keep those ratings up?
I hope not, and that's not really what the plan is, but it fit in
I hope
this
not.
week. It fit in this week because of what was going on. Like I said, I was really invested this year in having NXT involved in the Survivor Series because I thought it would be different and make an interesting mix for some stuff. So much so that I think I wrote in the group, I forgot about the Daniel Bryan match and I forgot about the Brock Lesnar match and I didn't care because it was like neither one of them excites me. So,
you know what? I just hope when in the near future when it comes to the upcoming Survivor Series matches, I hope they go back to the traditional 4-on-4, 8-man tag, later on, in a couple of years.
Everybody's got a feud with each other instead of, hey, we fought yesterday trying to kill each other in Wargames and so they were partners.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I would like to see that again.
For brand supremacy?
Not for brand supremacy, just like, have like, in between just your own brand and you got beef with 4 of those other guys in your same brand.
Yeah, but if you do that, and I understand that because that's what we grew up on, but if you do that, you don't give guys like Shorty G and Mustafa Ali a chance. You don't give Dana Brooke a chance because they're not going to be on that card.
That's true.
Carmella wouldn't have been on that card. Who's Carmella feuding with right now?
She ain't feuding with anybody right now.
Nope. That's the point.
Yeah.
She's not.
That's true.
Man, I think we covered it.
Yeah, well.
We got all that.
I'll be watching some more NWA Power tomorrow. So new episode tomorrow.
I'm off this week, so I'll watch Raw for a little while.
I will say that was one of the better pay-per-views this year.
With WWE? Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I know the bar is low. The bar is low.
Yeah.
But I think it has to be between NXT Wargames.
I'm not counting NXT pay-per-views. I'm just talking about just WWE pay-per-views.
It's better than Crown Jewel.
Well, that's not saying much. Super Showdown was better than Crown Jewel.
Oh.
And that wasn't even that good. I will agree with
you. Actually, as far as WWE ones go,
as far as WWE main roster pay-per-views, it was one of the better ones. At least, I don't really remember other ones, but I do know that a lot of them have been shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, where like the whole thing is crappy, or if there's like one match. This at least had 3-4 matches that were not too bad.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much the only bad matches were Fiend, Stupid, and Doink, and then the women's match at the end was just kind of anticlimactic.
It wasn't bad. It just wasn't
just anticlimactic.
It wasn't memorable. Yeah.
but you only had 2 bad matches. So I mean, if you're gonna use that as a judgment of what's a good pay-per-view, then this is an outstanding pay-per-view as far as WWE goes.
Yeah.
When we have so many pay-per-views that have 0 to 1 good matches. So, that's all I'll say about that.
All right.
Yeah, well, right now, Royal Rumble's coming up. That'll be the next pay-per-view. So
next pay-per-view is TLC.
TLC, then Royal Rumble, right?
Then Royal Rumble.
Okay, well.
Yeah, TLC's December something 13th, or I don't remember the date. Yeah. They showed the spot for it.
Okay. It's getting time to that season, man. Royal Rumble season. Just around the corner.
And then it's WrestleMania season.
Yeah. There we go.
It's all going so quickly. So I'm going to leave you guys with something to watch because you talked about guys that can talk and promos. So before we sign off, I think everybody, if you haven't seen it before, should go to YouTube and search for Jumpin' Jeff Farmer. And watch that promo. It's the title is Best Wrestling Promo Ever, and it sure is not. So, watch it though. It's only about a minute clip. Watch it. Jumpin' Jeff Farmer. That's what you're looking for.
Hey, just before you sign off, real quick, can we talk about Mark Calloway?
Oh yeah.
The sessions.
Yeah.
The sessions.
Because that was so fucking good. Was I the only one who was almost shocked to hear Mark Calloway's voice as opposed to Undertaker?
Well, you know what, and it's funny too because for many years I think as fans, I've always because WWE has always brought out those documentaries, a sit down interview with that superstar, and I think for many years WWE has tried to avoid having Undertaker or Mark Calloway actually talk.
No, he did.
They don't.
He did it. It wasn't WWE. It was him.
Yeah.
He decided, no, I'm not going to do this.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying because of the the aura, the mystique of the Undertaker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For many years, for many years that he's not taught. He's never sat down or anything until now.
Did you even know he never even went to the Hall of Fame?
No, he's not in the Hall of Fame.
No.
I know.
No. He
doesn't even show up.
He doesn't show up to the ceremonies.
Because nobody shows up in character really to the Hall of Fame, and he won't show up anywhere out of character.
No, and he wears black shirts and black pants.
Yeah, he doesn't even show up to go to the ceremony, like when Ric Flair got inducted. Taker.
Yeah, he lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, he lives with the character pretty much.
Yeah.
He's a character 24/7 in a way.
Which is why this interview was so jarring, I think, because it was like nothing we've ever seen before.
Yeah. I've only ever seen him in anything once. Somebody did a documentary on George Strait or some country superstar, and he had a bit piece where they talked to Mark Calloway.
Mark Calloway is a huge fan of George Strait, and
they mentioned it in the interview.
Yeah, he's his favorite song is "The Troubadour" by George Strait. It's one of my favorite songs too, actually.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, it's really good. I'm not going to put it over as the best thing ever, but it was good, and it was interesting to hear his take on things from the business, the business of it, not so much the psychology of it, not so much.
You know what? For him to praise Jake Roberts, for helping him with that character, that tells you, the contributions that Jake the Snake Roberts has done. When it comes to the in-depth psychology in the ring.
As much of a crackhead as he was.
Yeah, as much of a psycho he is, but still.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen that, it's worth a watch. It sounds like Steve Austin's going to do more of these, which is good. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that we won't get to see a Broken Skull Sessions with Jericho because that would have been great.
Right.
But yeah, definitely him sitting down. I used to listen to the Stone Cold podcast and stuff, and I could literally sit down, Stone Cold, talk to people just about the old days, for hours. And him talking to anybody is just great, and he enjoys it so much. He enjoys those reminiscings and talking about the old days. and all those memories, and you could just see the joy on his face talking to Undertaker about it.
I was watching Table for Three the other day with they had to sit down with JBL, Ron Simmons, and Teddy Long, and in that segment when they talked about it, he goes, to be honest, I don't miss being on the ring. I miss being on the road, talking, like messing around, going on the road, talking about, the different parts of the business, the memories that you have on the road are a lot more memorable than the ones you have in the ring, especially with the people around you.
Yeah, because of what it is, so.
Yeah, it's all about the stories, and certain guys just enjoy telling those stories. Stone Cold's one of those. Ric Flair is one of those. Just love talking about the old days and stuff like that. I'll never remember at real quick, just at I think it was at the WrestleMania that was here in LA, and it was Hulk Hogan's Hall of Fame, and Piper got inducted by Flair. And just some of the stories that Flair got up there and told about him and Piper and some of the old guys, on the road, stuff on the road, not, nothing to do with the ring, just on the road. And they're just so fascinating. And, I wish that some of these guys, we've gotten some of the modern ones, but I wish some of these old guys had the recollection to sit down and just put some of this stuff, onto paper and, and write some books, and, they could write volumes about their stories on the road.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
One
thing. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, but one thing I can say about the sessions, I could pretty much say the Undertaker's a Paul Heyman guy. There, I'm gonna say that now.
Yeah.
It was Paul Heyman who saw something in him. Paul Heyman he has a mind in the business. He's a terrible businessman, but the guy knows talent where he sees it.
No, he's not a terrible businessman. He made money. He just didn't pay the other guys.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I think that's a place to call it, man. I'm gonna leave it on that.
That's it.
And just one more thing for people to watch if they haven't seen it. Toys That Made Us on Netflix. One of the episodes of the new season is wrestling.
Yeah, I've seen that. I watched that. It was good.
Yeah, basically, if you want to know a history of wrestling through wrestling toys, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, I did watch that. That's totally recommended viewing.
Yeah, I still have a lot of my old Hasbro figures, dude.
Yeah. No, check that out, man. You'll enjoy that. If you remember those are the original ones you had when you were a kid, those big rubbery ones. Like
actually, you know what? I had those. But I ended up switching to the small Kenner Hasbro ones.
Yeah. Well,
from the early 90s. Pretty good.
I don't know if Kenner Hasbro ever made some, but I know what you're talking about. But check this documentary out, man. It covers both. It covers all wrestling toys because it covers WWE, it covers WCW, it covers ECW, some knockoffs. Like it was really, really done.
NWA, and there was some NWA figures.
Yeah. So, no, I agree with that. That's good.
Just an interesting bit of trivia about that. The third season of Toys That Made Us was super delayed for many months because of licensing issues and issues of and it was all because of the wrestling episode.
Really?
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Because of all the different companies that have had the wrestling license and all the different clips that they had to get permission to use and stuff.
Well, even I think even AWA had toys available. I remember one of the rarest figures from the AWA was Carlos Colon figure that they released many years ago. Yeah, but anyway, go ahead.
Covers that. Last thing I'm gonna say again, Jumpin' Jeff Farmer, best wrestling promo ever. You gotta check it out if you've never seen it. It's totally worth your minute. It's totally worth your minute. So, all right, gentlemen, made it. It's probably like 2 hours. We did it.
Yeah, let's go. Make sure you have the damn thing recorded.
Yeah, I've been checking that since we started, bro.
Okay, man. Well, happy Thanksgiving, y'all.
Happy Thanksgiving to y'all. We'll talk at what is the next pay-per-view? AEW.
I don't know. We haven't gotten an announcement of an AEW pay-per-view in December.
No, I don't think we're going to. I think they're going to do the quarterly thing.
Okay, so the next thing that's official then for the AEW docket is the Chris Jericho cruise.
Yes, but I think that's going to be an episode of Dynamite, though. I believe because it's
okay.
So,
yeah. There's also the
TLC.
The bash at the beach, which is going to be in January. I guess Cody's visiting the courts for that. The registered trademark supposedly.
I'm trying to get the name for it. I did read that somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, either way, the next time we for sure talk, because I'm not waiting for him to get the thing. Will be what did you say? TLC? You said?
TLC, and then they announced the NXT pay-per-view, but I forget now what it's called.
The one that with is that the dual one with UK?
Yes, the UK. Yeah, the dual one with the UK.
That's gonna be all right. I'm in for that one.
I didn't see the date on that one though, so I don't have that.
It's January. It's in January.
Oh, that's January. Okay, so definitely TLC's next, no matter what.
Okay, that should be the next time we get together. It's been a little bit more recent, just because of stuff that's been going on, but we'll definitely catch you for TLC. All right, gentlemen, I think that'll do it for today.
All right.
Definitely.
And with that static, we're out.
All right. Bye.
Later, y'all. Bye.
Kayfabe Culture is part of the Extraordinary Culture podcast universe. You can email us at exocast@yahoo.com. We're also on social media. You can find us on Instagram at exoculture. We're on Facebook at exocult. We're on Twitter at exocultcast. You can listen to Extraordinary Culture or Kayfabe Culture on Podomatic, iTunes, Apple Podcast, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify. You can YouTube Extraordinary Culture Podcast, or you can ask your smart home device to play the Extraordinary Culture Podcast.
No, don't do this. Enough is enough.